Hey guys, this is a new podcast that me and Josh are trying out. We might do one weekly or a few times a month. We'll just see how it goes. But I'm filming this right now because me and Josh didn't do an intro because it wasn't originally meant to be a podcast. In the description of this podcast, there'll be a link to the Black Lives Matter website where you can go and sign petitions and donate. And also, there'll be some timestamps there if you want to skip to a certain topic. This podcast is a long one, but hopefully you guys enjoy, and thank you guys for watching. So much has happened,
Damn.
dude, in the last like 5 months. Not even this year. So much has happened this
Yeah,
year. Just
it
fucking completely
has.
changed.
Between our friend group and just the world in general as well.
Very much so.
Fucking heaps.
Just for us in general.
Yeah,
Us
2020's
with
been a
all the
wild
friends
year,
and
dude.
fucking all the shit like coronavirus, fucking the
Mm-hmm.
fires, everything.
Riots.
Yeah. It's been
Fucking.
crazy, dude. It's been an
Bro,
absolute
it's been a
mental year.
fucked year.
This is going down and people joke like, oh, the history books and shit, but this is actually gonna be fucked.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, our grandkids gonna interview us with like, how'd you survive 2020?
yeah, and it's
Well,
like
let me tell you.
fucking this shit kind of happens like in the year, but people don't really like pick up on it. But because there's been so many like serious things, it's been like
Mm-hmm. Oh
so
yeah,
fucking hectic.
like January was nearly World War III with Trump. Then there was the
Yeah,
bushfires in Australia.
yeah,
Then there's been the pandemic for the
coronavirus.
last 3 months. Then there's also been riots.
Holy
I don't even know
fuck,
what
dude.
to call this year, dude. It's been shit.
Yeah, it's just been so
It's been
bad.
fucking shit.
No one's got a break. Like from farmers with
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
bushfires to
No one, dude.
pandemics with like people losing their jobs and fucking
Mm-hmm.
riots with fucking people getting beat up and shit by the cops and fucking hell, people just don't get a break this year.
It's not even halfway through the year.
Facts. It's like, what's next? Fucking, oh, it's not a big year.
Surely fucking alien invasion, dude. Purple and green gang come real.
Bro, let's just think about this for a second. The
Okay.
fucking Area 51 meme was literally like 8 months ago.
Oh my god.
How crazy is that, dude? This year has
Jeez,
been that
bro.
most AIDS year, but so much has been happening that it's just gone so fast.
Yeah.
Like I could
Damn.
blink,
Area
and we were
50.
in
I remember
fucking
that,
March
dude.
joking about Tom Hanks, dude. Like holy fuck, it's been
Facts.
so long. I think last year was so. I thought it was so bad because it was so like nothing happened. It was just so depressing because it was like it was slow and like the same shit over and over, and it was just nothing was changing. But now it's like, oh, you want to change? Here's fucking 50 billion things, and fucking
Each
take them
fucking
all at
day.
once. Yeah, because it's like we had no games out, and it was like
Mm.
depressing because it was the like our hobby that you would go to escape the fucking general
Oh
world was just
yeah.
like so depressing because there was nothing to do, and now it's like
Mm.
so many
Right.
fucking games.
Now the things that we went to escape are now affecting the games as well. Season 4 has been delayed over a week. You reckon we're gonna get an Avengers level threat or?
I don't know, dude. It's not off the table at this point.
No, it's
I
not.
wouldn't be surprised
I
if
feel like there's gonna
if
be
some
something that's like even bigger is still gonna happen this year.
facts if we get like invaded or some shit. I wouldn't
Yeah,
be
it's gonna be
surprised.
something out of this world, dude.
Surely they got to
Surely.
finish 2020 off with a bang and like drop a nuke or some
Exactly,
shit.
dude. They're gonna drop a nuke like at the end of Far Cry 5.
Yeah, that would be just the piece of resistance. Just drop a nuke
Exactly, dude.
and
Drop a
2020 with a
nuke.
bang.
Yeah.
That's it.
Literally a bang.
And that's it. That would
Yeah.
be
I
fucked.
don't know what the next big thing would be. Maybe a second wave of Corona,
Yeah,
but
it could
maybe like
happen, but people are more
maybe
prepared this
just as
time.
worse. Oh yeah, we're more prepared and we've had restrictions, so
Yeah, people are
we
used
know
to it.
what would just happen again.
And then people will be like, oh, so when we go out, this does fuck up, so we should probably do it better this time.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
I think in November there's the new election in America.
yeah,
So Trump's going to be gone, and then don't know who else is going to be the next president, but they're either going to be better or fucking just as worse.
some people loved Obama, and there's all fucking like trash people. Like all the
Oh
Trump did
yeah.
all that shit with what's his name? Fucking Epstein,
Epstein?
and yeah,
Yeah.
and fucking Hillary Clinton is like fucking hella sketch and shit.
Oh,
Like these people
she's
shouldn't have
fucking
power.
sketchy, dude. No, they shouldn't, but they do.
Yeah,
Fucking, how old's Trump, dude? He's at least fucking 70, 80. I think he. Hold on, no, where's Siri?
I think he's in his
Hey Siri,
60s, 50s, 60s.
how old is Donald Trump?
Donald Trump is 73 years old.
Fucking hell, cunt.
Jesus! He's
Fucking
73.
Jesus
My boy be
Christ.
old, dude.
He's fucking old as shit.
He's fucking
73. And he's a
73.
president.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, dude. What has the world come to? I don't understand how a dude like who's on a reality show like firing people and shit,
Yeah.
who is just rich becomes the president. Like that is so the world we live in is just so weird. Like
Did you see that people wanted The Rock to campaign for president in America?
yeah. I don't know, dude. It's like when people put a celebrity up or some shit like that, it's like you don't
I feel
really
like it's
know
more of
those.
just a meme. They
Yeah.
wouldn't know how to like run the country.
True, and it's like, do they really know to make the right calls and stuff, or will they be like
Exactly.
under pressure of what are the public gonna think of me and that kind of shit? Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure some of these
Yeah.
people are wonderful people, like Kevin Hart and shit, but I don't think they'd be fucking.
I don't
they're
think
humans,
they're president worthy. Like
Yeah,
that
like-
comes with like a lot of responsibility.
and plus
I
you
feel
have
like
like,
they're in their own little zone and they're fucking
Yeah.
smashing it.
and you have the pressure of being a celebrity at the same time. Like,
Yeah.
some of these people are like politicians.
Oh
and they've
yeah.
done that,
If
and then they become
The Rock
president.
went to like being the president, dude. If he fucks up being president, that could ruin his career.
Yeah, plus it's like, I don't know, his like decisions are weighed down by, affected by what people think of him and that kind of stuff. Like,
Yeah,
he has to
popularity
ho-
would.
he has to
fucking
hold this
come in.
image of like,
Mhm.
yeah, I just don't think that's like, sure, like make memes about it, but like, I don't know, it's not really, I don't think it'd be effective. Like, I don't know. But then again, I don't fucking know how politics work. So
Bro, I have no clue. I was talking to Dad about it, and he's like, "There's a Republican and like the Democrat Party in America." I'm like, "What the fuck is that?
yeah,
The fuck are they?"
it's kind of like the liberals and shit here.
Yeah.
I don't even know how
I
that shit
fucking-
works.
Neither do I.
It's like a party that believes in different shit from the other party, so they try and like. So it's
I want to
like
go to the sex party when I vote.
it's like how much they want to dedicate money to which and what and all that kind of
Mm-hmm.
shit and like what they want to do. But I guess if they had the same thing, then there wouldn't be different parties. Like if they had the same views, then they would just be in the same party kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like if two people wanted
they
the
have
same
the
thing,
same like. Yeah, if they have the
Yeah.
same thing, then they'll be on the same side, not like
Yeah.
split how they are.
so there's different people who believe that
In
what's
different
right for
things.
different
Yeah.
different like the economy and shit. So
Bro, that's weird to think that as of tomorrow you'll be 18, and then don't you like? Isn't it compulsory for you to vote?
oh fuck, I didn't even think of that shit, dude. Oh, bro, that shit's fucked. Fuck.
It's actually quite
It's a lot
fucked.
of
I'll find the site.
responsibility becoming an
Oh,
adult, man.
Oh yeah,
fucked
dude.
up.
There's a lot of responsibility.
It's actually very fucked up. I gotta learn how to do tax and shit as well. Like, holy fuck.
Yeah, dude. Fuck. I don't
Pretty
even.
crazy, yeah.
Why the fuck tax, dude?
Yeah, it's
Bro,
kinda
if
fucked up.
if there was like cheat codes, I'd fucking put in tax evasion. I don't want to do taxes. Do you imagine how much money you'd save each year by not doing taxes?
Yeah, I know.
That'd be fucking crazy.
Like the world right
Shit.
now is probably in the worst state it's been in a while.
Oh,
There's been
it's
big events that have
few
happened in the
years.
last like 10 years that have been fucked. But this is like
oh, yeah.
just-
There hasn't been this many things in
Yeah.
1 year before. Even in a
Like-
decade spread out. It's all
Yeah.
happened in 1 year.
like
that's fucking-
it just will not calm
Jesus.
down. Like nothing will, it just keeps happening. Like
Mm-hmm.
and even like personally with us, like it's been so wild. Like holy fuck. I mean, you could say that it happens with becoming an adult. Like things go a bit crazy, but like
Mm-hmm.
like start our adult life at this time, like when everything's happening. So it's like
Oh yeah, dude.
when
It's gonna be
technology's like
fucked.
fucking taking off and shit, and like
Mm-hmm.
social media is just fucking it's
I
actually
wonder,
nuts.
do you think there's gonna be like, how do I phrase this? Like with social media, how there's been like, TikTok, and then people can get paid for being TikTok and influencers and stuff.
Yeah,
Do you think there's gonna be another big platform that comes in?
that's a good question.
Because TikTok came like, because what TikTok used to be was fucking
Musically.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it was
and then
Musical.ly.
the start of TikTok was like musically, basically, but then it just
Yeah,
formed this massive culture. Now it's just like, it's a booming
yeah.
platform, dude. Like, TikTok is nuts, and it's reaching other platforms like YouTube. Vine. It was like Vine was a place where it was like people jump started their careers off Vine, like Cody Ko and shit.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
now TikTok is like a place where people are actually having, like, people had careers on Vine, but like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, TikTok can be your,
Career.
yeah, if you're like an Addison Rae or a Charlie
Yeah,
D'Amelio,
exactly.
like,
That's what I was gonna say. Like Addison Rae, if it wasn't for TikTok, like what would she be doing at the moment? Say for example, YouTube, Twitch, or like big gaming platforms, if they were to stop paying the creators, or the creators couldn't get donations or anything, do you think that people would still do it, or do you think they would fucking just stop doing YouTube altogether because they can't get paid for it?
like, I guess those people would have to try and use their audience, but on a different platform. So there would be a new kind of platform that would be forced to like take off because all the popular creators are going there. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
all the YouTubers would. It wouldn't be TikTok because TikTok's like a. I don't know. It's not really a place for them to go, but it would have to be like kind of like a Twitch. Like, it would be like Twitch, or maybe
Another
some,
like
a
big
new,
streaming platform.
yeah, or maybe like a new YouTube kind of thing. So like, how Vine was it was like a short platform and like only
Hmm.
short videos and shit, but people like launch their careers off it and shit. It's kind of like TikTok would be that, but you have to transfer your audience into something. Like, people would transfer their audience into YouTube, which would then make them money, but they started off on Vine. So it'd be
Hmm.
like you make an audience somewhere where you're not earning that much money, and then you transfer it into something that can make you a lot of money.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what
so
Code Co
those,
did.
yeah, so those like TikTokers and shit, they would get money from TikTok, obviously, but I'm assuming that they would also get like brand deals, and they'd make their own merch and all that kind of shit, and then they'll
Hmm.
get even more money on top of that. Like, yeah, so they transfer their audience into something they can earn money from,
What the fuck is Mixer?
dude.
I've no understanding of the platform, and how the fuck did Ninja, out of all people, end up on Mixer?
Uh, I've never used Mixer before, I don't think. Um, but I'm assuming that, I don't know. Twitch is such a what do you call it? Like a superior platform for streaming that
Hmm.
places platforms like Mixer and stuff. The only things they have to um, bring in viewers is like streaming stars, basically, like Ninja,
Hmm.
Shroud, whatever,
Yeah, if it
Courage.
wasn't for like, because Twitch is like the main streaming platform.
Yeah,
Like, if people tried to, blow up on Mixer, they wouldn't get much luck.
yeah. It's like Twitch is just so superior, and there's just no reason to go to a Mixer or another thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just,
Because I think Ninja went because he got like his contract. Fucking, he got paid 60 mil or some shit for it.
oh yeah. If there's like streamers and they can take that money and they have a big enough audience to like that are loyal, that would come over to a different platform with them, like, fucking good on you. Like, oath, like, go across and
Yeah.
be the like Ninja would be the number one streamer on Mixer right now. Like, he is the best on Mixer. Whereas on Twitch
Pretty
there
sure
was
he's
like,
the only one.
yeah, there's but on like Mixer, that I mean, on Twitch there's like, there's this person, there's this person, there's this
Yeah,
category, there's this category.
Pokimane and fucking
Yeah. I don't know who
Dr.
other.
Lupo, Tim the Tatman, everyone
Yeah,
that's like kind
Dr.
of big in
Disrespect.
like the gaming community and stuff.
Exactly. Like, there's so many, and there's gonna be new streamers, but with
Mm-hmm.
Mixer, it's so like, like a reserve kind of thing that it's like, Ninja's gonna be the best that Mixer will ever have probably, and that's just
Oh,
how it's gonna be.
100%.
It's crazy, dude. It's like, this dude just absolutely leapfrogged off of fucking out of nowhere. Like,
Yeah,
Ninja's,
my boy was, swearing on fucking H1Z1,
and a Halo streamer, dude.
having a go at little kids.
I mean, not a Halo streamer. He played Halo, but I'm not sure if he streamed it or not. But yeah, he was like I don't know. He just went from people like me and you would love him because he's just like that classic toxic, funny streamer. Like, just says whatever the fuck he wants and does whatever the fuck he wants to do and is funny. To going to this massive like fucking inspiration for and just like he's looked at as one of the Mount Rushmores of streaming and like gaming in general. Like,
yeah.
so many little kids like look up to him and buy his underwear and his headband and shit.
Yeah.
But even
I
though
got a blue headband for $50. It's got
Even-
Ninja on it.
yeah, if he's gone
Oh,
from
yeah.
his audience being like us to being kids, like little kids, literally little kids, and it's crazy, dude. It's like a massive switch, and he's family friendly now and all that kind of shit.
Oh, alright, I've got a fucking big question for you. You ready?
And,
Do you think there will ever be anyone that is more popular than PewDiePie?
okay, so right now the only other like more popular social media people on social media right now is like Kylie Jenner, probably, and like those kind of people, like Instagram models. I reckon Ninja's up there. Like, PewDiePie has 100 million subscribers.
100 mil subs, dude. That's an accomplishment.
And he's like, he paved the way for YouTubers. Like, many YouTubers have, but he like, he's the biggest YouTuber on the planet apart from the T series. But that's like a corporation kind of thing. Yeah, like, I don't think anyone would ever crack another 100 mil. Like, Ninja's on what, like 50, 40 maybe?
No
I don't know.
clue.
But I don't think anyone would be able to do what he's done into.
PewDiePie's son to get to 100 mil, dude. That's
It's crazy. Maybe KSI one day. I'm not sure if he'll get to,
how many subs does KSI have?
So on his main channel, I think it's like maybe almost 30, I think. 30 mil.
Oh, alright. Yeah.
But he's the biggest in the UK by far, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So, apart from, no, PewDiePie lives in the UK. Never mind. But PewDiePie...
He does?
PewDiePie's Swedish, but yeah.
Yeah, he's Swedish, yeah.
He lives in Brighton.
Okay.
But as of UK, like, nationality streamers, he's the biggest. KSI's the biggest one. And I'm sure he'll hit, like, maybe 60 to 80 by the end of his career, I reckon. Probably.
Yeah, he'll get up there. But
He's
I'm not sure
definitely
if
getting there.
anyone would ever be able to, hit 100 mil. Do you
But, yeah.
think, bigger the community, bigger the ego?
Not
Because if people have
necessarily.
if they have like a nice little, like 20K, nice little community that everyone's, chilling and know each other if you have like a Discord and whatever.
Yeah.
And everyone's just kind of like friendly and all. Yeah. Point is, if because I know that younger, more smaller streamers, like if they get a donation, even if it's like $2, they'll fucking go ham. But
Yeah.
if it's someone that makes bank and they get a $5 and they don't even like read the comment that someone's written, I don't know. I don't know. To me, that's like, it's not bigger ego, but I just think, if that was a smaller streamer, they would have read out the comment compared to someone that's really big. Not necessarily PewDiePie, it could be like Ninja or Courage or whatever. But they just kind of skip over the comment because, $5 is $5.
Yeah.
It's not like back in the day when $2 was like, holy shit, someone donated to me.
I guess it's more like, alinity. Like, she's not on that many fucking things, but her ego and like her, what do you call it, entitlement is just absolutely ridiculous. Like there is people out there who think, you know, I'm on 500k subs, I'm a god, like you should worship me kind of thing. It's like then there's people that like PewDiePie. He's the biggest dude in the world on YouTube, and you know he's so like humble. He takes photos and with fans still and that kind of shit, and he's like, I don't think it's the bigger the platform, the bigger the head, but I think like depending on the person, it can really affect someone like their personality and like really show how they actually, you know, the kind of person they actually are. Like these people like Alinity don't deserve these kind of this money and you know all these kind of what do you call it, like attention. Like these people were, you know, they show like TikToks of this Kiwi guy going, "Oh, thanks, bro. Oh, you don't need to donate subs to me. Hey, I'll refund that to you, bro. Please don't donate money to me. Just watch it. It's free." And then you got like Alinity going, "Oh my God, it's $5 a week, guys. Like if you have the time to watch Twitch, you have the money to donate to me. It's $5." Like
Jesus Christ,
these
dude.
people
She
don't.
actually said that?
Yeah, it was
Oh my
Alinity
God.
and some other bitch as well. I'm not exactly sure. Don't quote me on it, but yeah, it's like these people they don't deserve the platform. They don't deserve these views and numbers and these other people like
It's
get
not
left.
as it's not more it's not like important to them as it is for other
Yeah.
people that actually have a passion for it.
Yeah, and like she's doing it because you know she can make money and it's all money for them, like money and attention and like fame. Whereas these other people just want to like have like a big, you know, community that they can be involved in and like, you know, appreciate their fans and that kind of stuff. Like, it's yeah, a big following can affect even like a little spike, like, you know, a account with 200,000 or 20,000. Like those people can be, you know, think they're on like some kind of god and shit when they're not. Like, I guess the bigger the platform, it can affect people, but also, yeah, it just depends on the person, I guess.
Yeah. But I was just thinking that because there's like smaller streamers that I might tune into, and if someone donates, they'll like read it, even if it's like $2 and it's a fucking paragraph.
Yeah,
Or there could be like big streamers like Ninja or Courage, and if they get donated like $5, they would just say thanks for the donation and skip over the comment.
yeah, I see it
And I
all
think,
the time.
yeah, I just think they just paid you money. The least you could do is like read out the comment.
Yeah, it's like I guess, but sometimes with a bigger following, it's hard to like, you know,
Yeah. If it's like a big paragraph, I mean,
yeah, and it's like,
it's gonna be hard because you have a big following. There's multiple donations like back to back.
yeah,
You can't just sit there and read through all of them, or you'll be there all day.
it's kind of like, especially with donations and stuff. I know this isn't what you're saying, but like, they can't like get to them all and they can't read them all and that kind of stuff. And big streamers can't reach their fans as well with big platforms because there's like hundreds and hundreds, well, thousands and millions of people like, you know, like all wanting to be noticed and like they want to support you and that kind of stuff. And in a way, you have to sort of, once you get to a certain amount of following, you have to sort of treat your fan base as a community kind of thing. So you have to like, well, you don't have to, but this is how I think of it. Like, you know, you have to start thinking of a community like, oh, we'll do a community event where, you know, or signings or that kind of thing. Not thinking about the individuals. Like, if someone comments on your video, of course you're gonna like it or whatever, or see it or whatever. But you got to think of things like, oh, I'm gonna make some content the fans would love, or I'm gonna do like a giveaway, or you know, I'm gonna like that kind of thing, like that the fans would appreciate and like feel like they're appreciated through that more than like an individual, because it would just like it's impossible.
Another thing I was thinking is, do you think, because there's obviously like FaZe and 100 Thieves, do you think there'll be like another big gaming group? And if you wanted there to be one, who would you want to be in it?
I'm not too heavy into esports. Like, I know some of the teams, and I know some of the popular players, like from back in the like Modern Warfare days and shit. But apart from that, I'm not too big into it. But I'm sure there's going to be another few teams that like with different games and that kind of stuff. There'll probably be some new like big popular teams.
Yeah, there'll
And
probably be like a big Valorant team that will come along
Yeah,
when
yeah.
Valorant's like officially out, and
yeah, and there'll be like a new 6-man or some shit, or like a 4-man team that just goes absolutely nuts and becomes like viral. You know, like we're in the first 20 years or 30 or something like that of esports. Like
lot of esports.
I'm not exactly sure how long it's been around, but it's been around for a while, but not that long. Like it's only just a new kind of sports thing. So we're gonna see, just as we see like Michael Jordan and then Kobe Bryant and Steph Curry and LeBron James. Like you see all these star players in different generations. Same as rap and all that kind of stuff. You're gonna see like all these esports players, and as the fan base grows bigger and bigger, it's just gonna be nuts. Like I'm pretty sure one of the esports, I think it was the CS:GO final or some shit, had 100 million. It was like a few more than the Super Bowl or some shit. I can't remember. One of the events had
That's insane.
more viewers than the Super Bowl. So it's like
That's pretty crazy because I feel
is.
like gaming creation is like slept on, but really it's got such a big audience.
Yeah.
Like if it can have more viewership than a Super Bowl that's been around for decades,
yeah,
and like everyone knows about it in like America, and I just feel like gaming creators, for them to have that much viewership on something like just a game, quite impressive. And I feel like they're not, how do you say, acknowledged enough.
yeah,
Like that's not in the news. Like
Yeah.
Super Bowl, that can be like, oh, there was 100 million people
Yeah,
watching
yeah.
this.
yeah,
Whereas there could be a big gaming tournament or something like that, but because it's gaming, people don't care.
yeah, yeah. I understand that. It's like it's not looked at as a proper like
Profession.
and a sport yet, but it's getting there, dude.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh yeah,
It's very much so
it's
getting
getting there.
a few years
Oh,
time, 10 years
100%.
time, not even 10 years, 5 years, 3 years. It's gonna be, the numbers are gonna be nuts. Like gaming appeals
Oh
to
yeah.
everyone. Like everyone can
Oh,
be
yeah.
a gamer and like get into like even sports. Like that's why sports is so big, because even though there's some gatekeepers like and that kind of shit for casual people, like, oh, what's your favorite team, whatever, and people are like, oh, I just like to watch the game every now and again or whatever, and people are like, oh, you're a fake fan. There's still like, it still appeals to everyone. Like there's
Yeah.
women's sports teams. There's there's even disabled sports and that kind of stuff, like wheelchair basketball, and it appeals to everyone. Same as gaming. Like anyone can play a video game.
But,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's nuts, dude. Gaming's going to be absolutely fucking huge. And then it's I think someone said, I was watching something the other day, and they said that it's a cost more. What do you call it? It's a bigger industry. Bigger industry. So
Yeah,
it's got
oh,
like
yeah.
it's a bigger industry than film
More
and
people.
music combined.
That
is huge.
insane. And it's
That is
gaming,
huge.
music and film, they've been there for hundreds of years. Gaming's only been there for popular, like, big games, not very
It's
long.
only like 30
decade
years.
or two.
Not like
Yeah,
games
it's
in
not
general,
been
but like
long at all.
games the way it is now has only been 20 years. Like it's the 20th century, really, the 21st century.
Yeah, I liked that YouTubers, kind of tinkle with music, like what Sidemen and what KSI's now doing, and PewDiePie. I like that these influencers have gone and done other stuff that they might not be comfortable doing,
Yeah,
but they're giving it a go, and
Yeah.
they're finding it to be successful, and I think that's good for them. Because
yeah,
maybe it's been a passion that they've wanted to do, and now they've got the audience and they've tried it and it's blew up.
yeah. Because it's
So I
like
think it's really good for them, and I'm
Yeah.
happy that they tried it.
when people do it just for money and shit, like, oh, I'll make a song this will blow up and then I'll get a bunch of money for it, or I'll do this because
Yeah.
it will be monetized and I'll get money from it or whatever. But when you can tell when people like actually have a big, huge passion, well, not a huge passion, but they enjoy doing it and they want to try it, so
Yeah.
they give it a try, and it's like pays off because people appreciate when people do stuff that they love doing, or they try stuff that they love doing. They like seeing new kind of content that they wouldn't usually
Yeah.
see.
That's what I liked about PewDiePie, 'cause he hasn't really done like music stuff before, and then he's done a few songs, and they've been pretty good. And he's not even doing it for the money either. He's
Yeah,
just doing it for fun, and the audience likes it, and that's what
yeah.
it's really all about at the end of the day.
When we were talking about fans before, how you appreciate your fans, it's like Dax. As much as I don't like some of his music's not too bad,
Mhm.
but he's pretty talented. Like some of the songs that he makes are actually very decent, and some of the freestyle that he makes are good. But you know, like yeah, and he the other day, like I've always respected him for what he says to his like how he appreciates his fans. Like he's
Mhm.
always I've always followed him on Instagram since I found him in the first place, but not found him since he blew up basically.
Mhm.
I've always followed him on Instagram just to see like when he drops a new freestyle or whatever. And he's always like his comments are just filled with him replying to people and putting stuff on his
That's sick.
story, and he's always replying to comments and that kind of stuff. And I commented the other day, when he dropped a new freestyle yesterday, the Black Lives Matter one. I was like, oh, I
Yeah.
commented, oh, this is some king shit, with a crown, and then he he fucking liked it, like the comment,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh fuck, Dax is so what do you call it, active in his community that it's just like the fans that the fans that are there that are enjoying his music, he are like I don't know, really appreciated by him, which I respect
Yeah,
a lot.
that's yeah, I like that as well.
Yeah,
I like when big kind of influencers, they do talk to their community and stuff,
yeah,
not just ignore them and think I've got a community, it's fine, but
yeah, yeah,
when they actually talk to them and put time aside to actually, even if it's just to like a comment, it shows that they're looking
exactly,
at what their community's saying, and
yeah, yeah,
I just like that they do that because not a lot of people do. And
yeah,
when you do see
exactly
it, you
right.
think that's
That's
amazing.
yeah. It's like, and you can tell that how genuine he is. Like, even though he's
Yeah.
involved in these kind of dramas and he gets like a lot of hate and all that kind of stuff, you can tell that he's so genuine because of how he
Hmm.
interacts with his fans, and how the real fans are like very real fans. You know what I mean? Like his fans are.
Hmm.
If you're a fan of Dax, you're a fan of Dax. Like,
Didn't do it.
and I love when people use their platform for positive things, like Logic.
Oh yeah,
You
I
know,
like
that's one
Logic.
of the huge reasons I love
PLP.
Logic. Yeah, and like he Joey Badass whole albums to, talk about their experiences and try and bring
Hmm.
people up with all the police brutality and all the racism and all that kind of shit. And they use their voices in a very, very positive way. And same way with Dax, for example, again, how he made the Black Lives Matter thing. Like, I respect people that do that so much, like who use their platform for a positive message, or
Hmm.
that kind of stuff, because it's just
Even just give awareness to people
exactly,
that might not be you know aware of what's going on in the world.
exactly. Like there's people who are, especially with this Black Lives Matter movement, the people who are quiet are like contributing to it. So it's like
Hmm.
there's a dude in the Sidemen called Toby, and
Yeah.
he made like a video. He was doing a stream and he was talking about the Black Lives Matter, and how he was talking about, oh, it's not as bad in England, but it's still really bad, and like his experiences with it and all that kind of shit. And he broke down and started like crying and shit.
Damn.
And it's hella sad. Like I watched it and I was like, oh my god, I had like goosebumps and shit, and I was getting upset as well, because it's like sad to see someone who well, I like Toby a lot. Like
Hmm.
he's a great dude. Like he's funny, and I watch their content, so well, yeah, I'm a fan of him. So, and
Hmm.
to see him like uh you know talk about his struggles and all that kind of shit with um
Racism.
yeah, and like being black and stuff, it's like it's like heartbreaking to see like how it really you know. And then when they use their platform to talk about these things and share their experiences and try and spread awareness and help the cause, it like I respect it so much. Same as Dax, he made the Black Lives Matter song. It's like KSI. He made or the Sidemen in general. Like he made a video and he put like the first half of it was Toby's stream, and he was like, oh man, this is so sad. And he was like, oh, I'm not really. He was like, I don't know what he kind of said, but he was like, oh, he's not really good with words, like KSI's not really good with speaking and that kind of stuff, but Toby said it perfectly, so he just gave Toby like a platform to, well, he gave him an audience to share his message kind of thing, which is exactly what you should be doing. Like, even though KSI didn't like speak up on it or whatever, he's still using his audience for their voice to be heard, which is another just perfect way of, you know, a positive message. Even though you're not using your platform personally to do stuff, you can still use your platform to share others,
You know,
that
raise
way.
awareness and, you know, do good
Exactly.
in the world.
Seeing like a social media influencer or someone you look up to, or a sports star, or a music icon, or something like that, if they share it, or if they share their personal experience, it has that greater what do you call it? That greater influence, kind of like it hits home, and you're like, oh wow, that's like So,
Because I
it's
know
very,
that like Kevin Hart's dealt with racism on account of his skin color, and he's not afraid to speak up about it, which is what I respect about him. And I just think that just because of someone's skin color, it just, I don't know, it makes people think of them differently, and it's upsetting that still happens to this day, and it does need to change.
Yeah, it's fucked what's going on. It's like when people say, I was in a COD lobby today, and some dudes in the other lobby were saying like, oh, nah, all lives matter and all that kind of stuff. Like, oh, nah, what about white lives matter and shit? Like, they were literally saying that to us, and we're like, oh, fuck these guys. Because it's like, if you're going under post and you're saying, oh, all lives matter and that kind of shit, it's like, it's kind of like saying, I saw a good comparison on the internet the other day. Nah, all houses matter. It's like when their house is just burnt down. You know what I mean? Because that would be very insensitive. So why would you say all lives matter to someone who's, because they don't at the moment. Like, that's what they're fighting for. They're trying to get Black Lives to matter. So it's like, why would you say that? It's just like so insensitive.
Oh yeah,
and it just
that's it's so big on social media. Just everyone's saying all lives matter, and it's just
undermining like these people and what they've been through.
Exactly.
Like, you have no idea what the people have been through, but yeah, it's fucked
it's
up.
just
Man. Yeah.
they're just kind of saying that all lives matter, but realistically, there's white privilege everywhere.
Yeah, all white people have privilege.
Oh, exactly, and then
white privilege doesn't mean that you haven't been through hard times. It just means that you haven't been through hard times just because of your skin color. Like
exactly.
I don't have to leave my house and put on be worried about putting on a hood, or have to have a conversation with my kids about, okay, if you get pulled over by the cops, you need to not have a single bit of sass or attitude, and you need to make sure your hands are up the entire time. And I seen this dude teaching his little girl, saying like, oh, I am blah 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 blah, like her name, and I'm unarmed, I'm whatever, which I'll never have to teach my kids, because like
what?
Exactly. Well, not to say that but you know what I mean. Like white people will never have to teach their white kids that, because they don't have to deal with those kind of oppressions and that kind of situation ever. So it's horrible there.
There's a lot of corrupt cops and
it's just the justice system in general is just corrupt. Like the system that's supposed to protect all and be like, for everyone, is just corrupt in itself, and it's like, it's so fucked up. Like, I couldn't imagine, like, for me, I couldn't imagine having to do any of those things because I'm white. So it's like, I don't have to worry about getting pulled over by the cops and then, them shooting me because of my skin color. Like, I couldn't imagine that. But a black person they have that thought on their mind all the time, and they have to see their friends, their family, or, people they know and stuff like that in their community, and their people just get murdered by these people by the cops and the justice system, and given unfair trials and that kind of stuff, and not treated equally, all because of a skin color, which is just absolutely ridiculous. So and
Yeah, it's
you know,
very ridiculous. Like there's a comparison I can make to that is in an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, because I'm a big fan of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
yeah,
There's a racial profiling episode where the black Sergeant Terry he was just walking down the street and he got put over by a white cop, and his reasoning behind it was because he was black.
yeah,
And if it was just a white dude walking down the side of the road, he wouldn't have done that.
yeah. Which is like there's good ways that the media, not the media, but like film and TV have shown it. Like there's some amazing movies and documentaries and that kind of stuff that kind of help also spread the message as well, which is like another way of using your platform to be positive or whatever. Let me ask you a question. Even though we live in Australia, and we get taught different stuff in history, have you ever once had a history lesson about slavery in America and like the Atlantic slave trade and all that kind of stuff, and like all the rules and stuff that black people? Did you ever like have an actual history lesson about that shit, or did you just know from like other kind of stuff?
Everything you just said, I did not understand, and that's probably due to not learning it at school.
Yeah, so with like, there's so many. I never had a single history lesson, even though I live in Australia, which shouldn't be like a thing. I would, if I didn't look it up myself, and like, I'm not saying I educated myself, because I still don't know, a lot about it, but just from what I know is, it's not from school, because they just don't talk about it. Like, could you imagine
I
in
don't
America?
learn any of that from school.
Yeah, it's like in America here that we just ignore it because it's like whatever. But we also have our own like very bad history in Australia with the indigenous people and all that kind of stuff, which we learn about, which is good. But there's also like we should be learning about all of it so that we know like so these kind of things where people are like, oh, all lives matter or whatever, that shouldn't be happening. Like.
Yeah,
Because
they're not educated on what's happened in the past for this all to blow up now.
Yeah, and it's like
Because for them now, they probably just think, oh, they killed a black guy, even
Yeah,
though
they
they know it's bad. They're just like, so.
yeah, people say
Whereas they don't know the whole history of this has happened for years, and black people are treated differently, and
Yeah,
they're just
exactly.
unaware of it.
It's like
They
people
don't get
say
taught it.
there's no white privilege, but it's like even
There is.
aside from what we've already talked about, black people weren't allowed to own homes and properties and that kind of stuff till like white people were always allowed to own homes, so people can pass that down to their grandkids, and then that's like wealth and that kind of stuff, whereas black people were not allowed to do that. They weren't allowed to own property and that kind of shit. So white people have had a head start on them for all that time. So there is, even that is white privilege. Even though you weren't alive in that time, that has given you white privilege as well on top of everything else. So it's like, when you say, oh, there's no white privilege, I've never had white privilege, oh, blah, 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 blah. You have, because it's like, it's just the way it is. And you have to accept that, and, you have to deal with, well, you have to accept that you have white privilege, whether or not whatever. So you have to, stick up for what's right, and, give these people a voice, and be an ally to the black community, and help out the people. Like, that's why the movements are going on right now, and that's why, people need their voices to be heard. So.
Which is good that there are people like influencers, like what you said with KSI, that are letting people with their own personal experiences to be able to go and spread awareness.
Yeah.
Even though he might not have that much that's happened to him, at least he's still like giving his fan base the education on how it actually has affected people.
Yeah, and even though I'm sure KSI's had like a bunch of things happen to him, but some people just aren't comfortable with sharing that with people, which KSI's talked about before. He's talked in videos about he's not comfortable like talking about himself and his like feelings like in detail with well, the people that his fans and whatever, which is perfectly fine.
That's fine.
So,
Yeah, it's
which is
understandable.
his choice. So it's like when you give your platform to someone else to share their experiences or just to have their voice to be heard is just
Yeah.
it's a great thing. It's a really good
It
thing.
is. It is, especially, you know, just for their voice to be heard and not feel like they're alone,
Yeah,
because that's what a lot of, you know, African Americans would feel in America, especially before this movement, and it shouldn't happen.
and there's the media that like moderate and whitewash the the media so that it looks like they show all the people smashing the cars and burning the buildings and shit, but they don't show everything else, like the cops that are in these protests, like throwing those, whatever you call them, the what do you call them,
The tear gas,
yeah, tear gas and spraying the spray and
rubber
like,
bullets. Did you see
yeah.
that someone's going to lose their eye because they got shot next to their eye with a rubber bullet?
Yeah,
And they have to
yeah.
get surgery, so they're going to have to lose it, dude. That's fucking...
Yeah, and there's like
Oh
they're
my
like
God.
spraying kids and that kind of stuff and like whatever.
Oh,
And
yeah, a
it's like-
baby girl got pepper sprayed, dude.
Yeah, and it's like people say, I've heard people say, "Oh, don't bring your kids to the protests and stuff." The protests were peaceful, like, and kids need to be like children, if they want to bring their children to be a part of this, like to show them the importance of protesting and standing up for what's right and that kind of stuff. That's absolutely that's what should be happening. They shouldn't have to be afraid to bring their kids because, because they're afraid they're going to get harmed because the protests were peaceful in the first place, but with all the violence and the cops and that kind of stuff the cops made it a non-peaceful protest. So it's like,
They do. They
So-
reinforce, they bring out the tear gas or rubber bullets.
yep, they're like, yeah, it's just ridiculous. Like, it's sad that like it had to happen, like another black man had to die and for
Just
this to
for all
happen.
this, you know, start to happen, yeah.
And it's sad that only now that this has all happened,
After
that the
all
black
these
people are getting a
years.
voice, and all these things have happened, and even during the protests, a bunch of stuff has happened as well. But it's really coming out at the moment. Like, even though the media is whitewashing it, social media is not white controlled, so anyone can see, both sides. You can see the white cops. You can see what white people are saying, and people are getting exposed for what they're saying and what they're doing. So it's like, it's a very good thing that's happening at the moment, but it's sad that it has
It's sad
to
that
happen.
it took, yeah. It's sad
And,
that it
yeah.
took a life for everyone to start
caring
doing it
about
when
it,
they
and-
should have just
Well-
realized that they've been treated indifferently for fucking
yeah,
centuries,
it's like,
really.
It's like, yeah, it's not yeah, it's for white people to wake up and realize that all these injustices happening, and it's sad that it took helping give these people voices and platforms and that kind of stuff, because the black people have been protesting for years and years and doing peaceful protests like that, the football player that kneeled and all that kind of stuff, like that's been peaceful protesting has been happening.
Didn't he get in trouble for that?
He did. Well, a lot of people weren't happy with it, and they're like, "Oh, that's blah blah blah. That's this, that's that." When they just, they don't see what they're trying to do. They're trying to send a message. They're trying to, they just
Yeah.
ignore. They
What it
ignore,
was for. They just see
Yeah.
it as someone just kneeled when really
Exactly.
they're trying to, send a message.
exactly,
But
and,
they don't see it. They just see it as someone just kneeled and they find it disrespectful.
and that's what's going on at the moment as well. People ignore that the protests are for, a message. They're trying to get this equality. They're trying to get just basic human rights. They're trying
Just,
to,
yeah,
they're
just
trying
just be seen equal,
yeah, not
which
even
they haven't been
exactly
like forever, really.
just civil rights, like not even equal rights, just civil rights, and people are just not listening, and they're just seeing these protesters, oh, they're looting, they're doing this, they're doing that. Sure, there's people that are doing the wrong things sometimes, and but it's also like there's, like they say, there's no peace until there's justice. Like, they've done all this peaceful protest for so long that there's just sometimes there's no other answers and stuff. It's sad to see like some shop owners and that kind of stuff like lose their businesses and have their shops burned down and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah,
And-
people just going and looting, stealing all the fucking stuff in the
Yeah.
store.
But it's like people are trying to paint the picture of doing the wrong thing, and trying to make the black people look bad for what they're doing, which is absolutely not the right thing to do. Like, there's people that are just not even haven't looted or burnt anything or whatever, and they're just going out there to peacefully protest, and they're once again getting
tear gassed.
yeah, and innocent people are getting hurt and that kind of stuff when they're not even doing anything wrong and that kind of stuff. And even celebrities showing up to protests, the real ones, like J. Cole walking around with the mask and protesting with people, Kendrick, these people didn't want to be recognized really, because like Kendrick has a full hood on and a like a face mask, obviously for whatever, but it's a black face mask and stuff. And he took a few photos with people, but I saw one girl asking for a photo with J. Cole, and he was like, "Oh, sorry, but like not during this or whatever, like not at this time," while he was protesting or whatever. But it's like they're there to show support for the people, and it's like even though Kendrick and Cole and Joey Badass and whatever have been saying these things for years and years about brutality and all this stuff, they're still out there, supporting their people and getting involved, which I find is very, very I respect it a lot. I respect those people, especially those people I mentioned, but there's a few others as well. But then you see Instagram models and stuff like taking photos and getting in their car and leaving and that kind of shit. Like, that's so fucked up. So it's working. Like, all the peaceful protests are working, and they're doing a great job out there. And yeah, so it's yeah, I hope that with this people can wake up and
see what's actually happening in the world with racial differentiation.
Yeah, and
I don't
like
know the word is.
profiling and that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff, racial injustice, and hopefully we can actually see some really positive, good changes, and these kind of things don't happen anymore, which would be very good.
Have you,
Yeah,
and they're already being taught like this is what you have to do if you get pulled over.
yeah, it's fucked up, man.
It
It's really
is.
fucked up. It's sad that the black people have to even as much as the black people like have to go through this stuff and have to teach their kids. It's like the kids have to be brought into this. They're born and they're already, just because they're born and they haven't even done anything. They haven't even said their first words, and already they're looked at differently because of the
color of their skin, and
it's really sad.
it is.
Like I was saying, with people posting on Instagram and just to look good and stuff, people see this as a moment, and it's not a moment, it's a movement. So it's not going to be the next few weeks, it's not going to be the next few a few days, it's not going to be whatever. It's going to be, this is the change that's happening, and it's not going to be like, it's not an event. This is a moment in history that's going to be looked at for the rest of for the rest of history, basically. And what you do now affects what will happen in the future. So if you're watching this right now and you haven't spoken up, or you don't whatever, you can make a real change by giving these people a platform to hear their voices. Even if you don't have you don't have money to donate, that's fine. You can still be an ally to the black community by sharing these posts and sharing people's stories, and posting on Instagram a link to some Black Lives Matter websites where they can donate, or sign petitions. You can sign petitions, that helps. But yeah, just make sure that you guys are being active and getting involved, because this is really important. And
it is. This
please
will go
don't-
down in history, especially
don't
this
be
year
silent.
alone.
yeah, definitely. So don't be silent, because you are contributing to it. So yeah,
Yeah.
make sure you guys are doing what you can.
Right there.
All right. Well, I guess this is a good time to wrap it up.
Yep.
We'll see what makes it to the final podcast, because we have been talking for a while.
Yep.
Yeah, we're just going to try out this podcast, see what it's like. We did used to have an old podcast, and we had a separate channel for it and that kind of stuff, but we'll just make this one a little bit more casual and, maybe do a
Yeah.
once a week thing. We don't know where it's going. We don't know what it's doing, but we'll just fuck around.
Just test out the waters, see what it's
Yeah,
like.
yeah. And we used to enjoy it, so we'll get back into it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you want to, and chuck a sub. And if you have
for anyone wants to donate, there'll be a link in the description for the Black Lives Matter.
That's right, the Black Lives Matter website, where all the petitions are and all the links and stuff you can read up about all the shit that's happened will be in the description. And also, comment down below if you want to let us know what you thought about some of the stuff we said, or some topics you want us to touch on next time, or what we can do better. Let us know. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next podcast, I guess, or my next video, whichever one comes out first. Alright, see you guys.
See you guys.